Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, we're going through the Brisbane versus Collingwood. Absolute upset that it was. One of the I got 4 tips wrong this round. I really slipped up a little bit, but I mean, everyone sort of slipped up by the looks of it. So the tipping has sort of gotten away from me just a fraction. As I fall, I think 3 tips maybe behind the leader. And then there's like 3 or 4 that are 2 tips ahead of me, I think, and then a lot of people that are 1 tip ahead of me. I think mostly because I got that Richmond Gold Coast game right. It's the second or third time that I think like a quarter of my bad tips or something like that have actually been the well, given that I've got 12 wrong, I reckon I might have got Gold Coast wrong 4 times out of the. Let me actually just check this because I want to know. I got them wrong in round 6. I got them wrong in round 5, didn't I, as well? Or did I get that? Yeah, no, I got them right. Round 4. Did I get them wrong? No, I got them right in round 3. I got Gold Coast wrong, so that's 2 wrong from Gold Coast. Round 2, I got Gold Coast right because they're playing West Coast Eagles. And round 1, I got Gold Coast right as well. So 1/6 of my tips have been wrong for Gold Coast. It's the Richmond tips that I've gotten wrong, isn't it? One Richmond tip. Let's see. Only one going into round 4. Then what did I tip? I got them right in round 4 as well. Round 5 got them wrong as well. And round 6 I've gone 50-50 with the Richmond tips. And Collingwood as well. I've gotten wrong quite a couple times. 1, 2. I think I've got Collingwood wrong 3 or 4 times. 3. Let's check round 3 as well. Collingwood have gotten wrong 4 times. Oh, jeez. That's not good. And I didn't get them wrong in round 1 either, did I? So I got Collingwood wrong, I think, 3 or 4 times. So yeah, those are my sort of teams that I seem to get wrong quite often. But anyway, back to the game, I guess. Here we go. So yeah, Collingwood got the upset. Didn't see this one coming. I don't think many people saw this coming. I think I said, that would be an easy beat for Collingwood. And I mean, for Brisbane, they'll win this that convincingly. And yep, they proved me wrong. Again, Brisbane cannot beat Collingwood. So that's the second time in about a week that's happened. And another loss for Brisbane overall in all competitions in the last about 10 days. I think they've lost 4 major finals or something like that. Or at least 3, I believe. So yeah, they're not having a good run. Ali Anderson, 92, 24 touches. She started off really well and then faded as I actually got to watch the whole of this game. And I sort of watched it off and on, as in I watched the first quarter, so that's how I know that Ali Anderson got off to a start, as well as there was one from, I'm pretty sure there was one Collingwood, yeah. I was going to say Benici got off to a hot start, and that's why I was just sort of laughing at the point when I got rid of her. That's what I remember. And it wasn't, there were some girls, as you can see here, that didn't get off to the greatest start. But then it was sort of did DAVEY, she got away in the second half, yeah. She was on track a little bit in the first half, but then got away in the second, as you can see, with a 35 and 19 for a 54 second after a 39 first. Conway, 70 points, 15 touches, sort of nothing major, as you can see here with, let's just toggle on these. 8 tackles the highest, so no one really had that 12 to 14 tackle game that we've seen across the weekend that really blows your score up. Most of these girls just had 8, 7, combination. So if we look at the marks and tackles combined, we went off the men's metric that 9 was the standard that we really wanted to see. As you can see here, or 8.5 was sort of that metric for that 100. I think if 7 is sort of the metric for that, for the girls doing really well. But you see here that some of them don't do anything outside of that. So you have here Savart, only 8 touches though in the tagging role. 9 for Mona but only 5 touches. 8, 9 here for Huda. Huda got up to an alright score, but not enough touches. Grider, similar with Huda, only 13 touches. Cohen, Smith, and then you see Ali Anderson got the touches and the score, and that's why she got to the 90 marker, because she hit this 8.5 that we sort of saved for the men. She got that 9, which is really good for the females, which the female marker I think would be about 7. Conway set 6, 6, 6, 3, 3, 4, 4, 3. And there wasn't many marks here, as you can see. Davidson with 6, but that's only 7 overall, and she didn't get the disposals to hit that marker anyway. So yeah, they really just struggled fantasy scoring wise, and then they still even scored more than Collingwood. So it's just a really slog fest. But as you can see here, no one really hit the metrics needed to get to that big score. Then we move over to Collingwood's side, and you can see the highest was a 93, just beating out Anderson's 92 for B. Davies. But she kicked a goal and had the 12 marks and tackles combined. So she really did the marks and tackles to get her score up in the non-disposal points. What's that? 21, 20. So that's 41, 38, 44 non-disposal points out of 93. That's looking at about 47% or so, which is a decent chunk. But you'd like to see Brie Davey be able to get up to that 25, 28 touches. That would really help her score balloon. As you can see, Rowe with an 86, she did really well as well. 21 and 6. Benici 21 and 6 as well. 2 and 2. That sort of differentiated her, as she lost 4 points, 3 points in free kick and goals and behinds compared to Rowe. And Rowe would have had a better, I'm guessing, kicks to handball ratio than Benici. And that's why they have a little bit of a split there. Frederick here, 29 touches, 29 hitouts, dominated the, well, I mean, Hickey had 27 as well, so if you actually look at the hitouts, 29 and 6 and 27, so 31 to 35 hitouts wise, so it was actually an even hitouts game, so an even ruckman battle, as you can see with Hickey going 55 and Frederick 76, so Frederick dominated a little bit around the ground, getting a couple more tackles, an extra mark and a couple more touches. But yeah, it's sort of a very even ruck contest. Kane, Brazel, White, Campbell, Sheridan, 41, 13 touches as well. So if just a lot of girls here that need to, if they want to be able to be useful in the fantasy for next year, they really need to work on their non-disposal points. I think that is one of the biggest killers in the both games, is this value of the non-disposal point. I mean, we saw how Dawson does it. We saw how Zeeble did it with how they work with the marks and stuff like that. Sicily as well. All three of those were so key in getting those non-disposal percentages up around that 40 to 50%, and that's where they balloon in stats. Because yes, they might gain 25, 30 touches. They might get 1 or 2 short compared to a lot of their compatriots, but they get, or a lot of their competitors, should say. But they gain that 4 or 5 points that they lose back in non-disposal points by banging on another probably 20 odd points more compared to other people, and that's how you get that 15 plus advantage. So that's how I think you see the top girls in Marinoff and Noffy and Gardner. You see here with Noffy, she got 71 minus 5, so 66. And then plus 13. She got 79 out of a 153 in non-disposal points. You see in that, the GWS game, she got a lot of points in disposals. She got 116 out of 174, which is still, 58 non-disposal points. That's still roughly 33. Like, the lowest she's been is about 30%. And you can see in this game here, 72, 63. She got 63 out of 124. Here she got 62, so she got 60 out of 125. Here you can see she actually only got 23 out of 112, 23, 18, 24 out of 112, which isn't the best. But if we follow this up with what Gardner's doing as well, you can see she is more disposal, as you can see, with about 50 or sort of around about, I think that's roughly 20 kicks a game. What's that? Yeah, 40, 119 kicks she's got through 6 games. So that's like, I don't even know what, if that's like 59 point something per game or whatever through just fancy points through kicking alone. It's 59.5 points per game through kicks. So she really dominates kicks, but she does still get the tackles, as you can see here, and does get a wide variety of marks. So she's usually hitting that marker. Riddell is more handball based. Whitford is definitely on the tackle side, and we saw with Smith the same thing. Gardner, very tackle based as well. You can see here 10, 13, 13, 14, 11, 15 marks and tackles combined there. So she's hitting regularly 12 or 13, and that's how she bumps her score up, even when she's getting tagged. So just the main thought that I'm coming out of this game is that you need to find the girls, especially in the women's game, with it being shorter quarters, the ones that are really tackle heavy. Because they are the ones that are going to pick up the most points. So even though it does suck that we wasted almost a year to find this out, it is definitely worthwhile that we did figure this out over time, and how best to set up, I think, next year with a lot of these girls, as we're starting to learn the girls a lot better. So it does suck, obviously, that the content, the way I've played the fantasy women's game hasn't been the greatest, but at least we learned for the future. So that pretty much is the video there. A little bit more holistic way of viewing it, rather than actually going through the stats, as we sort of see with the stats. It wasn't the greatest fancy game, to be honest with you. But anyway, that is the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one, which will be the Essendon Geelong, another upset. So see you guys in that video. Bye, guys.